Shalom, Akim, Shalom. I am the brother Darash, and first and foremost, I want to give praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Peace and glory to the man of the Lord that be on the highways and byways, and double honors to the apostles and elders that be preaching this truth and teaching this truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I just, for today, I want to give a short lesson on a Christian Edomite that have the Christian Edomite that was talking about this is the last call for America. These of signs of the coming days, where no one can buy or sell things without market beast. So like the MOTB. The signs that have occurred and things to come. I just want to go over it real quick. So, in the video, he was talking about in Revelations 9, chapter 9, verse 18. He was saying that 1/3 of the earth, 1/3 of the entire earth, is gonna be killed off. So let me get that real quick. Revelation 9. Revelation 9. This is Revelation 9, verse 18 in the NLT. 1/3 of all people on the earth were killed, but these three plagues, these three plagues, by the smoke and the fire and burning sulfur that came from the mouths of the horse. All right, let me go up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna reread it, but I'm gonna start at verse 17. Yeah. At the end of my vision, I saw the horses and the riders sitting on them. The riders wore armor that was a fiery red and a dark blue and a yellow. The horses had heads of like lions, and fire and smoke and burning sulfur biled from their mouth. I think biled. Yeah, biled. Verse 18, 1/3 of all people on the earth were killed by these three plagues, by the fire and smoke and burning sulfur that came from the mouths of the horses. Now, that's the verse he's talking about, and the fire, smoke, and burning sulfur is the. But if I'm wrong, one of the brothers can correct me on this, but is from the nuclear fire that are of the three plagues of the burning fire, which we can go into in let's see. We can I think 19. Oh. Tony. Okay. So this is Revelation 19 verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with the false prophets that wait a minute. Yeah, okay. This is it. Yeah, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophets that with written miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the MOTB, and them that worshipped his image. The, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And then in NLT, it says at the last part of it, it says both the beast and the false prophet were thrown alive into the fiery lake and burning sulfur. So it's talking about the nuclear fire that's gonna happen to Babylon the Great in the coming days when Yahweh Shai lifts us up before or during when the nukes hit. And we can get that in we can also get that in Romans. I think yeah, Romans 4 and 13. That's right. Yeah, I will go down and start. Yeah, actually, I'll do Romans 4 and 14. For if they which are of the law by hairs, no, I do 13. I do 13. So, for the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham, or of his, or so like it, to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith. For if they which are of the law by heirs, faith is made void, and the purpose made of none effect. Because of the law worketh wrath, for where no law is there no transgression. Therefore, apologies. Therefore, it is of faith that it might be by grace, to the end of the promise might be sure to all seed, not to the only which is of the law, but to that also which is of faith, of Abraham, who is the father of us all. Um, that was not the verse I was trying to get, but also a good one. So yeah. So this one I wasn't supposed to get this one, but this one's still pretty good. So I'll just talk about this. But in this verse in Romans 4 and 13, I believe. Yeah. So what was Romans 4 and 13 through I think 16 we had read? Yeah. Through Romans 4, 14 and 16, it's talking about faith and how we need faith to make it up out here, and how we can't make it up out here through the law, as the men of the Lord be preaching that the law, we can't be saved by the law, because if we were to be saved by the law, that anyone can basically make it. But also there are some things in the law that we can't always 100%. The law is to help us work on our faith so we can grow our faith. And let me get a verse for that. For that works. This is James 2 verse 26. For as the body without a spirit is dead, so is faith without works is dead also. This is going into how basically faith without works is dead, because you can't have faith if you're not working on it. That's like basically saying you want to be a cook, but you don't work, and you have faith that you can make it in this dream to be a chef because you want to cook, but you don't show no works to achieving that dream. So your faith of becoming a chef is dead. It's the same principle in this truth, because without your works in this truth, if you have nothing to build up upon to work on your faith, then you don't have anything to really be faithful in. This is why we have to. This is why the man of the Lord say to make videos, read our history, listen to lessons, practice on Hebrew. We do these things so we can build up on our faith. And with that, I want to go with, I think, Galatians 3 and 11. Yeah, 3. Yeah, this is Galatians. Yeah, Galatians. If I say that wrong, Salakia. But this is chapter 3, verse 11. But that no man is justified by a law in the sight of Yahweh by Hashem Yahshua, it is in evident for the it is evident for the just shall live by faith, and the law is not of faith, but the man who doeth them shall live in them. So this is also this is building up of what was the verse from but this is basically building up of the faith without works is dead. So we live by faith and not by sight. That's another one. That's another good verse. Because we're not justified by the law, but it's evident for the. Wait, what is it? What does the NLT say? Let me read from the NLT. So it is clear that no one can be made right with Yahweh by trying to keep the law, for the scripture says it is through faith that a righteous person has life. Okay, that has a better clear up. So, yes, even doing these, so basically, you can try to keep all these works, keep the laws to 100%, but if you have no faith, you still can't be saved or be part of the chosen, because without your faith in Yahweh Shai through without faith of Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, it's nothing. Which is also because another important verse is Colossians 3 verse 17, where it says, whatsoever in word or deed you do it, just for roughly paraphrasing, whatsoever in word or deed do it through Yahweh Shai in the name of Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh our Father. Basically, whatever you do, you give thanks and have faith in Yahweh Shai and Yahweh that you can make it through these last days or whatever you're doing. But let me get back on track to these let me get back on track for some of these like plagues and signs that is going to be shown. So, but yeah, without your faith, it's gonna be really nothing you can do about it. But just like how, actually, let me show you what the reason why we need this faith. Let me see. Yeah. So this is Zechariah 13:8. Okay. Yeah, this is Zechariah 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahshua, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a third shall be left therein. 2/3 is the would be the Gentiles of Israel, basically our people that walk by the camp ignoring it or having something to say that they don't like about it. You know, them and and that's them. They're gonna get cut off and die and get hit by nuclear missiles. And in verse 9 it says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God." And the people and the 1/3 is the hopeful elect, the remnant, which is the reason why it's important. This is the reason why we must have faith, is because there's a remnant that is gonna be chosen. The 144,000 is gonna be chosen for to be lifted up out here, so to be saved from the nuclear destruction. Uh, next 19. Here's another one talking about strength, but this one is talking about the that's endearing. Um, okay, this is Acts 14, verse 22. Where where they strength in the NLT, by the way, where they strengthen the believers, they encourage them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of Yahweh. That's because with our faith, we're because our faith is going to be tested, and we must stand strong through these hardships while keeping our faith in check and in order to make sure that we still trust in Yahweh by Hashem and Shah at all times, because we are going to be tested in these last times because of all the stuff that's happening. Uh, did I get Isaiah? I also might cut this video short a little bit because I do gotta do something. Uh, let's see. Let me Matthew. Let me get Matthew. Matthew. And This is Matthew. Actually, I'm gonna actually get. I'm I'm gonna talk about one of the great one of the one trumpets, or is it trumpet? One of the bowls that got poured out recently, which we should all know, the great river Euphrates. So this is Revelation 16 verse 12 in the NLT. Then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great Euphrates river, and it dried up so that the kings from the east could march their armies toward the west without Henderson, Hartson, or Henderson, and and yeah, I got this cool trick right here, so I can do this. And we should know the Euphrates River was drying up around like when did it get dried up? It says it was it started to dry up and will completely dry up in 2024, but I think it started around like 2022. If I'm not mistaken. How many years will it take that? 2100. Yeah, I think it started around like 2022, but you can see as the Great River Euphrates is drying up. Oh, hold on, let me get a photo of it real quick. A little quick photo. Oh, here we go. See? Oh, I'm guessing it's pretty dry, really. And it says drying up. You could basically walk on that water. It looks pretty dried already. There's probably like some, like the lake of Powell. Yeah, so yeah, 22 too. So it started kind of like drying up around 2022. So it's pretty dry, pretty much, with that. I'm okay. I gotta do that thing. I'm gonna probably make a second part and continue off of this point, but I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Haradas. I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I just want to give praise to Yahweh by Hashem Shai again, and honors and glory to the men of the Lord that's be preaching this truth, and to honor to the apostles and others that's teaching and preaching this truth as well. Shalom.